Hey fam, it's your boy Pop Pop. It's shouting time in heaven. So I prayed that God will anoint what I have to tell you. I was up early this morning seeking his face about 3 o'clock in the morning. And uh, actually, there was a knock at the door, and I wasn't sure. And then there was a knock again at the door. Uh, you don't want to answer that when you get a knock at the door at a at 3 in the morning. That's a high spiritual time that the enemy uses. And if I had opened up the door, there wouldn't be anybody there. But uh, I would have put myself in a spiritual battle. That I'll explain sometime later. But it happens, and like I said, 3 o'clock in the morning, you hear a knock at the door, unless it's somebody you're expecting or somebody you know. You don't want to open up the door, because if you open up the door and nobody's there, you're in trouble, because that's a demon spirit that the enemy has sent. And like I said, I was having my prayer time, and those of you that have asked me for prayer, I've been absolutely faithful, even though a lot has been going on in my life, a lot of challenges. So the word I got today was about people that go to God only when they need Him. And don't you get irritated when you have somebody that only calls you when they need something, and you know when they call you that they're going to ask you for something, because you never hear from them other than that? Jesus went to a village between Galilee and Samaria, and he was met by 10 men suffering with leprosy. So they stood at a distance, because back then, if you touched a rabbi, uh, that was something that you weren't supposed to do. Lay hands on a man of God. So, uh, that being the case, they stood off on a distance and they said, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And he asked them, what do they want? And they said, "We want to be clean." And he said, "Go show yourselves to the priests." Now, if they hadn't gone, they wouldn't have gotten cleansed from the leprosy. But in any case, they went and showed themselves to the priest. And one man, a Samaritan, came back and thanked Jesus. And Jesus said, "Well, where are the other 9 that got healed?" And so uh, this version isn't accurate, but what happened with the 10th man was Jesus told him, "Go your way, your faith has made you whole." So with leprosy, it eats away at your skin and the connective tissue and all, and they would be wrapped up in bandages. And I saw this at a nursing home one time, but they lose their fingers and stuff. The joints, the connective tissue between the joints and the cartilage and all just gets eaten away, and the end of the fingers come off, and then more of the fingers and toes and stuff like that. It's a dreadful, slow way to go. So 9 men got healed, and one man, a Samaritan, came back. Samaritans were kind of half and half, um, mutts, so to speak, and they weren't highly thought of in that day and age. And so for a Samaritan to come back and tell Jesus thank you, God was saying pretty much, this is the least of all people who came back and said thank you, like the Samaritan woman at the well.